Hello and welcome to the first video in the series of my brochure overviews. Today we've got a 1977 Leyland Sherpa brochure from eBay. This is one of the last Phase 1 Sherpa brochures. The Leyland Sherpa was introduced in 1974 to replace the Morris J4 van, and it was first updated in 1978, where the engine lineup was changed slightly. So this is one of the last Phase 1 brochures. Introducing the van that can take it. Introducing the incredibly rugged Sherpa from Leyland Cars. We made it so tough I'd be easy on you. We put it in 50,000 miles of torture testing in extreme colds of Lapland, extreme heats of Turkey, and just about every kind of road condition at Myra. And just if that wasn't enough, a further 350,000 miles of punishing road endurance. To come through this 400,000 mile motoring hell with flying colours shows just how dependable you'll find the Sherpa and how economical to run. We've proved conclusively our Sherpa can take it. Now it's up to you to use it. So Leyland obviously put a lot of testing into their van to make sure it was suitable before they put it on sale. Turkey is definitely a challenging condition with the heat and the road surfaces. I know from recent experience a lot of old Leyland vans are actually still being used in Turkey, which just shows a true testament of how tough they are. This picture is from the Evening Mail, which I believe is a real company because it does feature other real companies in this video delivering newspapers here. And there's a lovely large picture of a high street of the courier delivering newspapers to this newsagent. Notice the front sliding doors, we'll come on to that in a moment. Over the next page we've got British Airways, the world's favourite airline, being featured here. They used Sherpa minibuses for their crew transport from the terminal to aircrafts that were parked remotely. Some text relating to the engine mounting, which was quite advanced for this time period in this sort of van. A forward mounting engine means cheaper, easier servicing. The engine is mounted forward. This way you've got easier access for maintenance and servicing. Even with the engine in situ, you've got greater accessibility for routine servicing, and if you want to take the engine out, it's a whole lot easier from the front. You'll find around 1 man-hour will do the job. So it will only take 1 man 1 hour to take an engine out, which seems incredible. What's more, the resulting flat cab floor gives easier walk through to the load space and across the cab. And there's a safety bonus. The driver is safer in a head-on collision. At 30 miles per hour, frontal crash tests, the steering column is moved back only a fraction over 1 inch. That's real driver protection for you. Adaptability is keynote of the Sherpa crew bus. Its practical proportion for practically anything. It's available to basic specification as a 14-seater with the rear compartment equipped with longitudinal slatted wooden seating, seat cushions and rubber floor mats optional extra. So we can see these fold-away side-mounted seats similar to Land Rovers of the time period. And the cab compartment features factory-fitted seatbelts. As you can see, the Sherpa minibus seating is arranged for maximum comfort for everyone. It is available to deluxe specification as a 12-seater, the rear compartment being equipped with longitudinal and forward-facing, fully trimmed seating. Note, right-hand drive versions are also fitted with a side-loading door and sliding step. The cab compartment includes driver and dual passenger seats. However, on left-hand drive models, only a single passenger seat is found. This is a lovely picture. I just wish it was taken in the daytime, however. And we've got another way to have your Sherpa now. It was also available as a pickup, which I think looks quite cool. It looks quite a surprisingly large cab bed as well. It'll pay you to run one in the long run. So this section speaks about on their test into Turkey, 2,700 miles for the diesel, 31.6 miles to the gallon was averaged, and for the 1.8 petrol, 23.2 miles per gallon was averaged. Yeah. So the steel body shell was treated to prevent rust with a phosphate dipped underbody, wax injected seals, and underbody box sections. So Leyland were obviously aware of corrosion issues at that time period and tried to take some measures to overcome that. You can see it's got a little canopy over the load bed. The van that drives like a car. We proved it when we hammered it round Lapland, Turkey and Myra. Driver fatigue was minimal because drivers genuinely enjoyed driving the van. The fact is, the safer and more comfortable the driver feels in his cab, the better he'll do his job. You probably couldn't get away with saying that now, and the more efficient he'll be in your company. Which is why we put in many creature comforts as we could into the car-style cab, such as comfortable driving positions. It's always a bonus being comfortable. Cab headlining from the marina. Highly efficient heater and demister, face level ventilation, 2-speed wipers, hazard warning lights, and fascia padding. There's an image here showing the normal van driving position of that time period and the Sherpa car style driving position. You can see that this gentleman's quite crouched over and sort of sitting on it, whereas he's sitting in it here, and it feels more like a car, so that will reduce fatigue. If you're not sitting on top of the van, you feel part of it. You can see this lovely wood dashboard here with another Sherpa in the background. These lovely black vinyl seats. Obviously neck and head support wasn't an issue. People thought about it during crash times. Nice to see we have got 3-point inertia rail seat belts here. And this couple's moving some garden furniture, it would seem. Flick over the page and you can see that the Mk1 Leyland Sherpa comes with 12 door configurations, with red denoting sliding doors and blue denoting hinge doors. There is a multitude of options. You can have a sliding door on one side at the front, or both sides at the front, or hinge doors on one side or both sides, or not both sides, but you can have one or the other. And this speaks about the load space. This is measured in cubic feet, which is an imperial measurement, so that's slightly unfamiliar to me. Here we've got the rear entrance here. I believe this is as wide as these doors opened. Vans nowadays can open that all the way, but I believe that was a much more recent advancement. And again, we've got all these vans in the brochures are on R regs, which is 1977. Again, more customized options for the Sherpa. This is in the form of the chassis cab. So we can have, this looks to be like a pop-up roof. camper van. We can have a Luton van, as I would know them as. Various tippers, sliding sides, minibuses. So there surely is a Sherpa for every need. All bodywork conversions on van, pickup, crew buses or minibuses have a specialised bodywork on chassis cab and have the official approval of Leyland Cars Engineering Division. And again, it's part of the Super Cover scheme, which is Leyland's warranty and guarantee scheme, which I'll explore later in this video, but it'll also feature in lots more videos because I've got lots of Leyland brochures. Practical proposition for practically anything. And again, if you'd like to have a tailor-made Luton van or ice cream van, or you want to build an ambulance, you can just write to this address here and they will deal with your inquiry. Be interesting to see what that address is now, but that's a Birmingham postcode. Yeah, so it's Leyland Cars Super Cover. So even though this is a van, it is still part of the Leyland Cars family in this brochure. Every new vehicle, so there's an asterisk there, which is only applicable to vehicles used within the United Kingdom. So every new vehicle detailed in this brochure has Super Cover. It's one of the most comprehensive service schemes offered in the United Kingdom by any motor vehicle manufacturer. Vehicles are thoroughly examined by our experts and engineers. In addition, dealers put vehicles through a long, extensive check. If you have any trouble with whatsoever, no matter how small, just contact your dealer and he'll do his best to keep your vehicle in perfect condition. Yeah, I like that graphic with the Super Cover with the hands covering the car. It feels like your car is in safe hands and comforting hands with Leyland, which can't be said for every manufacturer nowadays. And this is the really interesting nerdy part where I get very excited. This is the technical specifications. I'm not going to read everything out because we'll be here until Christmas. However, you can just read it off the screen. You can pause it if you want to read it all, but I'll just detail the main points here. So engine choices. You can either have a 1622 cc, which is 1.6, which is the B series engine, which was carried over from the old Morris G4. It is a 4-cylinder pushrod overhead valve engine producing 56 brake horsepower with a single SU carburetor. The oil capacity is 3.98 litres, which I know from a 1.6 engine it isn't a lot of oil at all. My modern car, which was a 1 litre engine, had a larger oil capacity than that. Again, so you could, another petrol option was the 1798cc 1.8 engine, which again was the B series engine. That engine was in quite a lot of Leyland cars, including the Princess, the Marina, the MGB and the Land Crab, some of which we'll explore within the coming weeks. But that had a brake horsepower of 65 brake horsepower, which is quite a considerable jump actually from the 1.6 to going from a 1.8. So you would definitely notice a difference. Interesting point, the compression ratio is only 6.9 to 1 and 7.5 to 1. I know that modern engines now are somewhere within the region of 10 to 11 to 1, so engine development has made huge leaps and bounds. Or you could have a diesel engine, which in the 1970s was quite rare. That, again, is the same basic unit. It is the 1798cc B series engine. It's the same basic unit, but just converted to normal diesel, with a dizzying 52 brake horsepower. However, it has got considerably a larger amount of torque. That unit is imperial, so I'm not entirely sure what that means in metric. However, That did have a larger oil capacity, possibly to deal with the extra cooling lubrication needed. Cooling, pressurized pump circulation system, so you can see the capacity for each engine. The clutch is a single dry plate and it is hydraulically operated. I know that a lot of cars 20 years younger than this still have cable clutches, so that's quite good. I presume they would need the hydraulic clutch for heavy load, stop-start traffic, delivering in cities, etc. Gearbox, the drive ratios, if that means anything to you, it's a little bit alien to me. Suspension was interesting, so it had semi-elliptical leaf springs all round, front and rear, which at the time was fairly old-fashioned, but the advantage of that was they could carry heavy loads. It was quite a bumpy ride, but they could carry very heavy loads. And in fact, that same basic leaf spring all-round design was carried through right until the mid-2000s when it was LDV, but we'll speak about that later. Moving on to the braking system. The Mk1 Leyland Sherpa featured drum brakes all round, which wasn't optimal for performance. However, they were easy to manufacture and required minimal servicing in comparison to disc brakes. However, to compensate for the drums, they were hydraulically servo assisted. So the instruments you got on the Sherpa was a speedometer incorporating the distance recorder, fuel gauge, water temperature gauge, warning lamps to show low oil pressure, flashers working, alternator not charging light, high beam hazard lights, and there was a brake circuit failure light. Optional extras. In the base model, the options were a load space interior lamp, front wheel arch rubber mats, but they were on van only, seat cushions, and a sun visor. Luxury. On the deluxe models, there was automatic transmission available. You could option radial ply tyres, and deluxe models featured chrome plated bumpers. We have got the approximate curbside weights for each size and engine type. Payloads. So on the 185 model, it could carry 711 kilograms. On the 215 model, it could carry 965 kilograms. And on the 240 and 250 models, depending on which body was fitted, it could carry 1118 or 1168 kilograms. Even the smallest size seems quite a large capacity. However, with the very small engine output of between 50 and 60 brake horsepower, it would not make a lot of progress at all. However, it could carry those weights legally, it's just the performance would be very, very slow. Maximum all uploads. And on the back, we've just got the dimensions, which would be handy if you've got, say, a depot, for example, with garages and sheds for inside storage. You could make sure it fits. And then we've just got the Sherpa font, and at the bottom, important notice: British Leyland UK Limited is constantly seeking ways to improve specification, design and production of its vehicles, and all alterations take place continuously. Whilst every effort is made to produce up-to-date literature, this brochure may not be regarded as an infallible guide to current specification, nor does it constitute an offer for the sale of any particular vehicle. So what that notice means is that they're always updating things, they're always seeking to update things. So this brochure is not a definitive guide. Things may be updated. And then we've got the lovely Leyland roundel here, and the address and the publication number. And that is, in a nutshell, the Mk1 Leyland Sherpa brochure overview. I'll leave you with this lovely picture. You can see the front axle here on the leaf springs. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think. If there's any sort of other brochures you'd like me to explore, please let me know. I have got quite a few upcoming from my collection that I'll be exploring in chronicle order, but I would love to take on your suggestions to make it tailored towards you. Thanks for your time today, and hope to see you again soon.